Tuesday, March 9th. Welcome into the Early Edge, powered by SportsLine. I am the coach, and we are officially into Tournament Championship Week, and we could not be more excited. So much content is coming your way. First and foremost, we hate shootouts. Last night, our two NHL plays go to shootouts, and they did not go our way. However, we were 1-1 in college basketball, so that was good. Quickly, I told you we have tons of contests, tons of tournament stuff coming up. And I want to tell you about this. 6 tournaments, 6 chances to win $10,000. Now, you can fill out one conference bracket or all of them. It's up to you. Conferences we have, listen up, ACC, Big 10, Big 12, Pac-12, SEC, and the Big East. You can create a pool with your friends or just fill out brackets for your chance to win $10,000 on the CBS Sports app or cbssports.com/conference. Let's bring in our cappers. We are once again running the 3-man we. Right below me. I know, full transparency, Zack, you were not on Northern Kentucky yesterday. So I guess as a show, we have to apologize to you.
No, that's all right. You know what? I was opposite Larry a few times, so I was glad Mike was on that side. But that's how it works sometimes. But good morning, Coach. The ACC tournament's in play today, so we've got some of the big conferences. March Madness is starting to feel more real.
I love it. Make sure you follow all of us on social media as we update things throughout the day. Speaking of the man updating things, right next to Zack, he is M². Mikey, good morning.
Good morning, Coach. Yes, I would like to make a public apology to Zack. He did want to give that play and kind of got overruled a little bit on that, and I feel really bad about that one. But excited, it feels a lot like fight night, right? We had the early prelims yesterday. We got the feature prelims today before the main event tomorrow. Very excited about this week of college basketball.
That's a great analogy. And one thing here at this show, we were always transparent with what we do. So I appreciate that public apology to the Zack attack. And finally, he's our man. He's our rock. He is the maestro. Good morning, Larry.
Good morning, Coach. I want to thank Cleveland State for an amazing comeback. And it was nice to go 2-1 and 3-1 Sunday. Let's just keep it rolling. Let's go.
Let's go quickly. It's the storylines that do affect or could affect the betting lines today. And Zack, I know you're on something as well as far as lines are concerned. What do you got?
Yeah, one thing I usually see in conference tournaments, the lines are off early. It may not be once we get deeper into conference tournament action, but yesterday, for example, 9 of the 11 spreads were way off. 4 of the 11 underdogs won outright. Pepperdine came close. So I think today could be another valuable day, whichever way you want to go with dogs or favorites.
All right, speaking of dogs and favorites, Duke is usually never a dog. They're usually always favorites. Maestro, what do you got on their game?
Yeah, interesting to see them as the number 10 seed, the worst seed they've ever had. They need to win 5 straight games in the ACC tournament. Probably not going to happen. I was looking at this game because, they played a 1-point game with Boston College earlier this season, and now they're laying 12.5. And it seems like, Boston College should be an automatic play, but then it looked a little deeper. The public is actually on Boston College. Normally, the public is all over Duke. But in this game, that many points is attracting the public. The professionals, though, are hammering Duke. And I don't think I want to get in the way of Coach K and all that ACC tournament history. Going to see what happens with this line later today.
Interesting. I'm going to keep an eye on it, too. That's a really cool little nugget about that game. We use the word public today because we're all into public apologies. You just heard Mikey with Zack. I've got to give one, too, because we pride ourselves on this community and the people and the fans. And yesterday we gave away 5 year-long subscriptions to SportsLine, and I absolutely butchered one of the names. And it's one of my favorite characters in movies of all time. You're killing me, Smalls. So I apologize. And the man who's behind this Twitter handle, he very nicely on Twitter tore me apart. And I said, I'll apologize. So there you have it. Because you're killing me, Smalls. Now, speaking of SportsLine, we're giving away 5 more year-long subscriptions this week. All the cappers, all the information, all of that. All you got to do is go over to Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star review. In that review, tell us who's going to win this week's Big Ten basketball tournament. Then on Monday, I'll announce the next 5 winners of a year-long subscription to SportsLine. Okay, it's time for our SportsLine play of the day, and we're going back to the NHL. A couple of shootout losses don't scare us. Penguins, -150 over the Rangers. Our guy, Matt Severance, he's on this play today. 60-35 in his last 95 NHL money line picks. The Penguins just beat the Rangers 5-1. Matt says they're going to do the same damn thing again because the Rangers are without their best player. Take the Penguins -150. Okay, it's time for our board now. M squared, you know the drill. Give it to me.
And we're going to head to the ACC, and we're going to look at Pitt versus Miami. I like this line quite a bit for Pitt at -3. This game, these two teams played earlier this season, was not competitive at all. These two teams are relatively similar in that they both have had injury issues, COVID issues, people leaving the team issues. It's been a very dramatic and disappointing season, really, for both of these schools. However, Pitt is simply the better team. They have the best player in the game on their team, and Justin Champagnie. He is going to make the difference here in this game. I don't think Miami has anything that can really answer his call there. And then I really question the motivation on the Miami side here. So I make this game -5.9 in my simulations. I thought we might see some line movement this morning. We haven't really seen it yet. And that makes a little bit of sense as games do tend to tighten up here in this neutral site conference type setting. However, I, again, make this -5.9. Don't be surprised if we get a little movement up to 4. So I would lock it in at -3 now while you still can. But give me the Pitt Panthers here. Sorry, I forgot their mascot name for a second.
That's all right. That's all right. Your simulations kind of play into exactly what Zack was just talking about. Almost double what the spread actually is what your sims say it should be. All right, speaking of Zack Attack. All right, Zack, the floor is yours.
Yeah, Coach, I'm going to go to one of the last games of the day out in the Big West with Cal State Fullerton -6 against Cal Poly. Cal Poly just 3-19 on the year, but they've been covering. They're 5-1 over their last 6 games. 4 of those games have been decided by 8 points or less, but I think it's going to be a real sloppy game. It's late at night, and I think Cal State Fullerton can pull away with a former Oakland guard, Trey Maddox Jr., leading the way.
All right, very good. And in our simulations at SportsLine, it has them covering over 60% of the time to back up your pick. All right, Maestro, give it to me.
Okay, staying in the ACC, you got 2 bad teams going at it with Notre Dame against Wake Forest, but there's a big difference. Notre Dame just beat Florida State, and that's given them a huge lift going into this tournament. They believe that they can make a run in this tournament. They're 10-5 in the ACC tournament, 4-1 in Greensboro. So they have a good history to lead on, and they're playing with confidence. Now they have a 3rd-team All-ACC point guard, Prentice Hub. And, Wake Forest comes in having lost 7 straight. They haven't covered any of the last 6, most of them blowout losses. And the quotes coming out of Wake Forest are, proud of the way the kids are hanging together and competing and have gotten through the season. It's a first-year coach who's actually a great coach, and I think he's going to turn around that program, but not this year. And you have Notre Dame beat them by 21 in the first matchup. Now they're laying 8. Wake Forest didn't have one of their key guys, Ian Dubosa, graduate transfer, averages about 11 a game. They didn't have him for that game, but still, they handled them, by 21. Wake last in defensive efficiency in the ACC, second to last in offensive efficiency. I'm laying the points with Notre Dame.
All right. I love Notre Dame in that spot. Actually, I love all 3 of these plays as well. Real quick, because when this show started being successful is when we started having our guys give their best bets of the day. I know already I'm going to get a tweet from somebody, and you're going to say, Coach, March Madness, give us 10 games. These are our best bets that these guys love the most. If you want all the games, then be a SportsLine member. We tell you that all the time. And anybody that already is tweets it out all the time. You can't get better information. You want all the games? Be a SportsLine member. All right, you're up against it. Grab your paper, grab your pencil. Here we go. This is our recap. M squared is on Pitt -3 in the ACC over Miami. Zack Attack likes Cal State Fullerton. That's a late tip, 9 Eastern time. The Maestro going back to the ACC. He likes Notre Dame -8 over Wake Forest in our SportsLine play of the day. Penguins -150 over the Rangers thanks to Matt Severance from where? SportsLine. You've got your marching orders. Let's take every single ticket straight to the pay window. For Zack Attack, for M squared, for the Maestro, for Chief, who's sorry we didn't have a dog of the day. We can't force it. And, of course, the jeweler who puts all of this together. I am the coach. Let's get into it. This is the only place for your daily early edge. Good luck.